Welcome to another S&P 500 analysis. Today is July 10, 2023. We're going to take a quick review on the SPY and also the QQQ today and see what they have done. First, looking at the SPY here, this is a 3-minute chart here. And as you can see, it opened negative and then immediately came back up and positive. See, this is the close. This is Friday's close. So it came back positive and stayed positive for about an hour or so, and then chop around between negative and positive until during the noon hour in the middle of the lunch hour. Then it came back up and stayed positive. Then near the close, it had this surge here and went up to 439.66 or close to 440 level. And looking at the up-down volume, this is the net up-down volume. Initially, when it opened, we got a negative net trading volume, so that means there's more down volume than up volume. But after the first 15 minutes or so, then you can see that it just went positive all day long and stayed positive. So that means more up volume than down volume throughout the session. And on this chart, this is the daily advanced decline, and this is a 3-minute daily advanced decline chart. Here you see that when it first opened, it was negative and much more declining issue than advancing issue. Then immediately after the first 3 minutes, we see that the advancing issue outnumbered the declining issue, and it went all the way up here over almost 1500 level or 1600 level, and then we just kind of stayed within this 1200 area, 1250 area here throughout the day. So that means throughout the session, we've seen more advancing issue than declining issue, and also we saw that the S&P 500 or the SPY was kind of chopping around during this area here, this time frame here, until this time frame in the afternoon. We saw the SPY or the S&P 500 stay positive for the rest of the session. And on this chart here, we are looking at the tick and also the cumulative tick down here at the bottom. So you can see that there are quite a few buy program here initially soon after the open, and then we see anything that is up above this 500 level and basically inside of this zone, then this is more of a buy program, an institution buy program. And down here below the minus 500 in this zone is pretty much sell program. But you can see that there are a little bit more of a buy program, but also in addition to that, notice that most of the tick is positive, in other words, above zero. That means there's more buy on the ask than sell on the bid. And also when we run a cumulative tick, basically a cumulative sum of the net tick, then we see that it's also stay positive. And looking at the NASDAQ, it's a little different picture here. You see the NASDAQ, here's the Q. When it opened down here, which is negative, and it came back up to positive. Then immediately after the first 15 minutes, it went negative again and sort of chopped around and stayed negative throughout most of the session, except, maybe after 2 o'clock or so, we have a little bit of a peak above to the positive area, but most of the day, it was negative until near the end of the trading session. Near the close, it came back up and went up close positive. And here looking at the up-down volume for the NASDAQ, you see the up-down volume. Remember we saw on the in the New York Stock Exchange, it was initially a little bit of negative before it came back up to positive. But you notice that the NASDAQ started the trading session positive. So throughout the entire session, there were more up volume than down volume. Yeah, I don't know what's happened here, so maybe it's just bad data. But in regardless, you see that the trend is up and is positive on the up-down volume. And here on the advanced decline, you see similarly to the New York Stock Exchange, it opened with more declining issue than advancing issue, but immediately it came back positive. That means there are more advancing issue than declining issue, and it stayed positive throughout the session, while the Q or the NASDAQ 100 was negative most of the session. And here looking at the tick and also the cumulative tick, we see that, it wasn't as much of buy program in the NASDAQ as it was in the New York Stock Exchange. And the sell program wasn't that many either. So it was basically just the cumulative tick. But again, you can see the cumulative tick is positive. So that means there are more people buying at the ask than selling at the bid. So that is also positive. Now, looking at this daily chart of the SPY, technically we are still looking at a higher low and a higher high, because this high here is actually just a tad higher than this high. So until this low is taken out, we are technically still on a higher high, higher low uptrend. And looking on this hourly chart here, you see I have identified some of these zones here. These zones is basically these high volume of balance area. You see today it came down to this zone and got bid back up. And right now it is inside of this high volume zone here. So tomorrow we're going to see what come up to this zone down here. Up here, and possibly get up to this pull high here from Friday. And we're going to take a look at the ES on this pull high. And for the NASDAQ 100, the ETF, the QQQ, okay, we basically looking at a higher low, lower high. So this could be a little bit of a pennant. So until this low is getting taken out, we are still in a technically we are still in this uptrend here. Just because we are seeing this little pennant doesn't mean this uptrend has been broken. So until this low is taken out, then we could claim that there is a lower low. Then we'd be looking for a lower low, lower high, and then a break of this trend line. And on this hourly chart, we see that the Q came down to this zone and got a nice bounce back up and went to this zone here, just went right to this zone, now finding support on this zone. So tomorrow we're going to see would it be able to come up to this zone or come back down and cut down and get down to this area here, or the lower range of the weekly expected move. Now looking at this market profile chart of the ES, the E-mini S&P 500, see today is pretty much of a balanced day, and it came up right into the close and tagged this point of control here, this naked point of control from Friday. But Friday we also saw this pull high here that need to get resolved or get tagged. So tomorrow we're going to see, will this continue to push up and take out this pull high? In other words, come up to this 44.75 area, or will it come down and try to attack these pull low and the single print and get these things cleaned up? So tomorrow, I'm not sure we're going to get a range day tomorrow or a balanced day. I think it's going to go up or down one way or the other. I could be wrong, but definitely on Wednesday when we see the CPI come out, we most likely will see some price action in a directional basis, either up or down. So just kind of keep an eye on these levels here on the ES, 44.76, and down here, 43.99. And here's how the indexes have done today. So if you like this video, be sure to smash that thumbs up and give it a like. And also, if you're new to this channel, click the subscribe to this channel so you'll be able to continue to watch these videos. Thank you for watching and stay safe.